Bushcraft 412, and let's talk today about a pretty overlooked prep. Most people, when they prep, they focus on food, they focus on guns and ammo, and they forget about little things sometimes. And it's real important to sit back and say, hey, what am I forgetting? And part of your prepping should be building bug out kits and bug in stuff and anything you're going to need that might help you out in either a disaster or a long-term breakdown. And this is one of them, the Zippo. Probably one of the neatest things ever invented is the Zippo. They're pretty much waterproof, windproof. They're great lighters, and they're refillable, so you can use these things pretty much forever. This one here is close to a decade old, and it's still in great shape. This one here is one I got at the gun show recently, and it's, I've only used it, I think I've only filled it up once or twice or so, but I think it's really cool, and I have a couple of Zippos laying around the house. Why is that? And here's the big question, I see the comment coming, why not just buy a huge bulk thing of Bic lighters? Well, guess what? Got those too. I've, over the years, when Walmart will have those like 10 lighters for $10, I've got maybe a dozen of those in my basement, stashed away in a bin somewhere. So I've got like 100 lighters in my basement. But the thing about lighters is they get wet, they're not that windproof, they're not as good as a Zippo. A Zippo is a much more durable, long-lasting piece of gear that you can refill. Lighters, when they're gone, they're gone. So even though I do prep regular lighters, I love having a couple of Zippos laying around the house and fuel for them. Because, these do perform much better in wind and rain and bad elements. So, instead of just having one of these, I have a couple of them. Because, I want one of these where if something bad happens, I want one of these in my pocket, one of these, in my bug out kit. And maybe, a couple laying around the house still. I don't want, and then if I throw 5, 10, regular Bic lighters in my bug out bag, cool. But I like having this, the craftsmanship of a Zippo. I just feel like it's a long-term, nicer item. It makes me feel better having a couple of these laying around. And you can get some really cool ones with neat designs on them like this one. I dig this one. I really like it. I only spent a couple of bucks on it, so how do you lose there? There's a lot of neat accessories like belt pouches and things like that for the Zippos as well. So you can buy all kinds of neat accessories for them. And I have this one here. Has leather one. Had it for quite a few years. Made in the USA. Always love supporting US made products. And now fuel for these bad boys. Here's the cool thing about these. You can use regular lighter fluid. You can use that, and I've got, these are I think about $1.50 at the store. And I've got maybe 2 or 3 of these in my basement. But the Zippo can use pretty much any combustible fuel. You can use gas, rubbing alcohol, denatured alcohol, anything you can get your hands on that will burn and will go up through the wick. So I tend to use, I don't use it as much. I tend to use it sometimes, but a good way to stock up on a ton of fuel for your Zippo is denatured alcohol. You can get this big, huge bottle for like, I think they're like $2 or $3. Man, these are, I originally started buying these because as a backpacker, I really got into ultralight backpacking, and I started using alcohol stoves for pretty much all of my cooking. I really got into alcohol stoves, went alcohol stove crazy. So, of course, burning through all, alcohol stoves, I would use this as the fuel. This is my fuel of choice for alcohol stoves. So I have like 7 or 8 of these bad boys in the basement. So, in an SHTF scenario, I think pretty much I would say pretty close to a lifetime of fuel for my Zippo. It does suck because the Zippos do dry out. You put fuel in them, the fuel only lasts like a week or so, and then it dries out. So I only put a little bit in them at a time and fill them up, every couple of, like right now this one's dead empty because it's been sitting around for a couple of months. But this one, I went backpacking last week, and it still fires up every time. So fuel lasts a week or so. But I fill them up maybe halfway, if even. That way I'm not letting all that fuel just evaporate. But I have, pretty close to a lifetime of fuel with that denatured alcohol. And so SHTF happens, and I'm bugging in for months and months and months, and finally I decide it's time to hit the road. I've got a good source of fire I can bring with me, and fuel for it I can pick up along the road, because I guarantee you, people are going to raid the stores, but people aren't going to steal stuff like this. People aren't going to steal denatured alcohol. They may, but, just a cool thing to have around. I have a bunch of these in the basement, and, very cool source of fuel, because I can use it not only as, it's a multi-use item, so I can use it not only for my Zippos, but I can use it for the 18,000 alcohol stoves I made. I've got literally almost a garbage bag of Pepsi can alcohol stoves I've made over the years. And I hardly use them anymore. I don't really care for them anymore. I've kind of grown out of it. And so, SHTF happens, I could be out on the street handing out alcohol stoves to everyone in the neighborhood and, helping out other people, I guess, But just wanted to show you this, because I really don't see a lot of people, kind of pushing, prepping small little items like this. And I just think it's a good thing, because Zippos can be anywhere from like 10 to 50 bucks. Or this one here was like $2.99, maybe, $2 or $3. Why not have 4 or 5 of them in your house, kicking around? So you have, everyone in your group can have one, in case you ever have to bug out or bug in or whatever. They're a good lifetime use item to supplement a good stash of Bic lighters. So, hope you enjoyed. Bushcraft 412 on the Zippo.